Yeah, and he certainly feels like this ball club is there. He thinks the chemistry's right, the culture's right, and the leadership is present in his locker room.
Bryce Farrell deep to receive, and the kickoff is going to be into the end zone and returnable. So Farrell's going to bring it out, and that was not a great decision because he got hit hard just outside the 10-yard line. Stanford's not going to have great field position, and Farrell got hit so hard that he was slow to get up. He's hurting a little bit. So good to see him actually pop up and run off the field. All right, so Stanford's offense coming on the field. Let's take a look at our impact players, brought to you by the Home Depot.
Well, for Stanford, it's the two wide receivers, Elic Ayomanor, Tiger Bachmar. This duo might be the best young duo in the country, both sophomores. And then the linebackers, Johnny Hodges and Nnamdi Obiizor for the TCU Horned Frogs. Those guys can do it all for the defense. They are the heartbeat of that unit.
Ashton Daniels is the starting quarterback. Got a lot of experience last year. He's got a true freshman running back alongside, and Daniels is going to throw deep on the first play to Ayomanor, and it's incomplete. Knocked away out of bounds. Good coverage by Travis Broughton, who comes to TCU from Utah, so he has experience playing against Stanford. Going deep on the first play of the year.
Yeah, and rightfully so. If I had Elic Ayomanor at my disposal at quarterback, I'm going to take an early shot as well. But the interesting thing that we saw with TCU, here we go with Ashton Daniels, 2,200 yards last year, 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Very productive for the Cardinal.
Handoff. Here is the true freshman, and Micah Ford with a really nice gain. Penalty flag comes in, though. In fact, 2 of them. So this one could be coming back. We'll see. Micah Ford, true freshman, getting the start at running back for the Cardinal.
I think that's going to be holding on tight end Sam Roush, the outside 86.
Would have been an 18-yard run.
Holding offense, number 86. Half the distance to the goal, penalty, second down.
Sam Roush, the tough player. He can do it all. He's kind of that classic Stanford all-around tight end. You're going to see him on the right side of your screen. He gets his hands outside the frame on Obiizor. When Obiizor goes to make a play, you got to let go. Sam Roush making a big penalty early on in the drive.
So for Stanford, now inside their own 10 at about the 7-yard line for second down and long. Daniels will hand off again. Ford this time, just not much room left side. So a gain of maybe a yard or so to set up third and long.
It's Abe Kamara and Johnny Hodges getting in there on the tackle. Good to see Johnny Hodges, 57, back out there on the field for the Horned Frogs. Somebody that really played a pivotal piece in the national championship run 2 seasons ago. Kind of caught the injury bug last year. But I tell you what, he's an old school throwback style linebacker. Tough nose, and you can see how well he can play the run.
Both teams looking to make big defensive improvements. TCU's got a brand new defensive coordinator this season. 3rd and 13. Daniels. Plenty of time in the pocket, and he's going to throw over the top into double coverage, and a penalty flag is thrown. Well, that was just unnecessary. That pass was not going to be completed, and yet intended for Jackson Harris. That's going to be a Stanford first down.
Certainly is. Good chance that gets a targeting call on Richard Toney.
Defense, number 23. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So as of now, no targeting.
Yeah, no targeting, but that's definitely a defenseless player running down the sideline for the Cardinal. Richard Toney hitting in the head and neck area. It's pretty close. Looks like he catches his shoulder. Certainly pass interference. And just a play, like you said, it was unnecessary. You didn't have to make that play. You're about to get off the field. You're going to give your offense a short field. That's just an undisciplined, uncharacteristic play. Sonny Dykes does not want to see that out of his ball club.
I mean, 3rd and 13 from the 8-yard line, and the penalty gives Stanford their first down of the year. Play fake, quick hitter, right side, good blocking on the outside. The pass completed to Ishmael Cece, who's a young player that Stanford thinks has a chance to make an impact 9-yard gain.
Yeah, Cece, one of those players that had a tremendous camp for the Cardinal.
Quick snap, Daniels scrambling. Daniels is going to run for it. He'll get the first down and much more. And then he took a hit way out of bounds. We're going to get 2 more penalty flags. Again for TCU, just completely unnecessary.
Travis Broughton The cornerback transferred in from Utah. Tons of playing experience. Started 29 games for the Utes. A play that he knows is just not necessary. I get it. It's early in the season, early in the football game.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 13. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
But even though it's early in the football game, start of the season, you finally get a hit, a different opponent besides your own in camp. You got to play discipline and you got to keep your emotions in check.
Yeah, I mean, he easily gave himself up and went out of bounds there. And I guess to Travis Broughton's defense, Daniels did kind of initiate some of that contact himself. Still got to back off there. That ends up being a 30-yard play with the rush and the penalty. Now TCU gets the sack. Obiizer got in there from his linebacker spot, and Daniels goes down for a loss of 6.
Obiizer, a former safety 2 seasons ago in the national championship run, played middle safety for the Horned Frogs, moved to linebacker last season. One of the best blitzers in the entire country from the linebacker position. You can see the speed and tenacity that he plays with. Big time play for the all-conference player a season ago.
So 2nd and 16 for Stanford into TCU territory. CC, the wideout, goes in motion. And Ford gets the carry, spins away from one would-be tackler, but just couldn't get away entirely. Marcus Deal, and that's 2 more yards going in the opposite direction.
Marcus Deal, big number 95, redshirt freshman, the younger brother of Devin Deal, who transferred in from Tulane, who plays the defensive end position. Marcus Deal is somebody that the coaching staff said to us this week, he has a chance to be a very, very special player.
Made a good play there. So it's 3rd and 18 for Ashton Daniels in the Stanford offense. Cedric Irvin now in at tailback. Time to throw. Daniels just never got rid of it. A penalty flag thrown. Probably a hold against Stanford. Nana Osafo-Mensah, the transfer from Notre Dame. I don't know. Daniels is pointing towards TCU.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Oh my goodness. TCU, that's 3.
Automatic first down.
That play, another one that was just over.
Listen, I get it. The emotions are high early in the season, early in the football game, but you got to play fundamentally sound. You got to play discipline. Sonny Dykes said to us this week, the leadership is right on the team. We're not seeing that early on in this football game.
Well, they had the 3rd and 13. The penalty gave him a first down. This one was 3rd and 18. And the face mask on Marcel Brooks gives the first down to Stanford. Andy Avalos, the new defensive coordinator. That's a lot of penalties in the first drive of the season. And that one was pretty obvious. Now, I think we got a timeout. Troy Taylor, who is the head coach and the play caller, didn't like what he saw.
Stanford, their first timeout.
So he decides to burn his first timeout. Well, Troy Taylor, a remarkable job at the FCS level at Sacramento State. He'd been a FBS offensive coordinator and a successful one. Took his first head coaching job at the college level. Turned that program around 2 years ago, hired here at Stanford. I think he's feeling pretty confident that this could be a positive year.
No question. The Stanford Cardinal returned 19 starters from last season's team, so they're much more experienced. They have a lot of continuity together. But I think Stanford as a whole really got the hire right with Troy Taylor. You mentioned what he did at Sacramento State. He led them to 3 straight FCS playoff appearances and won playoff games during those runs. The first ever playoff victory for Sacramento State at the FCS level. This guy's been in the Bay Area a long time. Played his college football at Cal. Played for the New York Jets. He's a ball coach. He's a football player. Can't wait to see what he does in year 2.
So out of the timeout, 1st and 10. Ford back in at tailback, and he'll get the ball. They'll pitch it back, and TCU was totally ready for that. There's Devin Deal, his first big play in the Horned Frog uniform.
Well, we just mentioned Devin's brother Marcus making a big play a few plays ago. Now is Devin Deal's time. The transfer from Tulane. He was an American Conference Player of the Year last year. Does a tremendous job off the edge. Not fooled for a second with the eye candy. He wasn't fooled with the misdirection. Made a big play for the Horned Frogs on first down.
So another negative play. That one lost 9 yards. Yeah, Devin Deal, big part of that Tulane program. Stanford, it's amazing this drive. Their offense, that's Irvin with nowhere to go. Stanford has 9 total yards, and yet here they are inside the TCU 40 because of all the penalties.
Well, outside of the 15-yard penalties, there's a lot of things that aren't looking great for Stanford right now. Up front, there's been a lot of free runners between the linebacker position for TCU, and right there, Caleb Fox, number 90, from the defensive tackle position, came scot-free. If TCU doesn't bail out Stanford, they're not moving the football right now.
You think there's a section on Troy Taylor's play sheet? How do we get a penalty called against the defense again on 3rd and 19? TCU almost jumped there. They're bringing pressure. Daniels gets away momentarily. Now he's going to scramble. Ashton Daniels cuts it toward the middle, and the ball comes out at the end of the play. Stanford has it. He had the first down yardage anyway with the long scramble. And Stanford will keep possession. I think that's Cece who fell on the fumble.
What an incredible play by Ashton Daniels. Nothing open downfield. Credit TCU in man coverage, covering down on all the wide receivers. Ashton Daniels showing his athleticism, getting outside the pocket, and then give some credit to his wide receiver, Ishmael Cece, for hustling down the field and being there to recover the fumble.
3rd and 13, 3rd and 18, now 3rd and 19.
I've never seen a thing like it.
On their first drive of the year. And it's 1st and goal for Stanford with an empty backfield. Daniels, a designed quarterback run straight ahead, and well defended, just a couple yards there. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, going back through the memory bank, I can never think of a team, even in over the course of 4 quarters of a game, converting that many 3rd and longs. Goofy start to the 24 season for TCU and Stanford.
11 plays, 82 yards, all the penalties, the one big scramble. And it's 2nd and goal. Irvin with Daniels, almost like an option style play, but really the only option was for Daniels to keep it. He leaned inside the 5 down to the 4. Johnny Hodges with another TCU tackle.
Yeah, once again an unblocked defender coming off the edge. Johnny Hodges making the tackle for TCU. 3rd and goal. If I'm Stanford here, if I'm Troy Taylor, I'm going to get Ashton Daniels outside the pocket. I want to get him an option where he can either throw for the touchdown, go run. You have to know where number 13 Elic Ayomanor is. You want to try to get the football in his hands.
Plenty of time on the play clock for Daniels. 3rd and goal. Looking right, throws, end zone, touchdown. Jackson Harris just found a little opening, stayed right where he was, and Daniels finds him for the first touchdown of the year. And how about Jackson Harris, the redshirt freshman? That's his first career touchdown.
Yeah, keep an eye out here on the outside. At the snap of the ball, you're going to see the outside linebacker widen and create the opening right there. Johnny Hodges, linebacker 57, was just frozen reading Ashton Daniels' eyes. Great job by Ashton Daniels to find the voided zone and find Jackson Harris for the touchdown.
Both these teams have brand new kickers. Emmett Kenny is the place kicker now for Stanford after Josh Carty got drafted into the NFL. So the first point after try of the year after a 13-play, 89-yard drive that took more than 7 minutes. Kind of a high snap, but the kick is up and good. Well, and if you're Stanford and you're trying to have a bounce back year and make some big time strides, that's a pretty good way to get it started. A long drive, penalties helped, and then the touchdown pass from Daniels to Harris. Stanford leads 7-0. A lot of talent. So Josh Hoover, first year as the true starter for this TCU program. And the first play from scrimmage for the year is a little play fake and a dump down. And a nice gain on the outside. That's Savion Williams, and you can already see, you highlighted him at the start of our telecast. He has got so many physical gifts.
Oh, 6'5", 225. Listen, he is on NFL Scouts radar, which is one of the reasons why there's so many here tonight. He's got big play ability written all over him.
I have a feeling that that was to send a message. They are going to be feeding him the ball. Handoff left side run for Cam Cook, the starting running back, the sophomore from Round Rock, Texas. And Stanford stopped that one for a short gain.
You know, another thing with Savion, you know, he's had some nagging injuries throughout his career. He's 100% healthy. And talking to the coaching staff this week, they said he had a tremendous fall camp. He was the hardest working player on offense, and it elevated the rest of his teammates.
I mean, they think a monster year is coming for him. He catches here, middle of the field. That's another TCU first down across midfield. So he's gotten the ball twice, and he's picked up 2 first downs.
Yeah, TCU electing to play with tempo early on in the football game, and as long as Josh Hoover continues to make good quick decisions like he's doing early on in this football game, you can play with that tempo.
That was a gain of 17. Another pass play here on first down, and another completion left side. A shorter gain down to the Stanford 40. That's Drake Dabney, the new tight end, who had a big year for Baylor last year and transferred inside the Big 12 to come to Fort Worth.
Yeah, an all-conference player in the Big 12 last year for Baylor, transfers over to TCU, and this is somebody that the coaching staff as well is very high on. His intangibles are off the chart. He's an experienced guy. He's played in 40 games throughout his career. He's a great addition to the Horned Frogs.
Well, already a couple of TCU first downs. They haven't even needed a Stanford penalty to get him either. Pitch play left side. And a nice move there by Cam Cook to get away from the first would-be tackler. But he stepped out of bounds. I thought he stayed inbounds and got the first down, but no, he's 2 yards short.
Cam Cook had a tremendous fall camp. Guy that was injured most of last season. Started out as the starter, got banged up early on. Lost his starting job to Imani Bailey, but he's back, he's healthy, and the coaching staff thinks he can have a tremendous year.
3rd and a long yard. Kind of an unusual formation. They'll shift everybody from left to right and put Cook almost like a pistol formation. He slips by one Stanford defender and gets the first down. That was a good individual effort by Cook, because that play could have been blown up.
Great vision by the running back there, Cam Cook. There was nowhere to go. There was free rushers from Stanford. See Tristan Sinclair screaming through the line of scrimmage. Cam Cook does a great job of evading that pressure, gets to the outside, gets a fresh set of downs for his offense.
And Sinclair's one of Stanford's best defenders, but Cook went right on by. So another TCU first down, trying to answer the Stanford touchdown. Inside the 30 at the Cardinal 29, 1st and 10. Hoover slings it left side. Williams, and just a great open field tackle. Man, Colin Wright might have saved a big gain.
Love the play by Colin Wright on the outside from the cornerback position. You're right. Savion Williams gets that football in space. He's dangerous. We've already seen it early on in this football game. Does a great job getting past J.P. Richardson, making a tackle in the backfield.
So no gain, 2nd and 10. Already the 3rd time, though, that Savion Williams has touched the ball. There's no secret what TCU wants to do. They want him to be heavily involved. Here he is again. And again, Stanford trying to swarm to him. Down to the 25, maybe even the 24. Gain of 5. It'll be 3rd down.
We can see the game plan for TCU. It's feed Savion Williams early on in this football game. And rightfully so, but once again, Colin Wright coming up from the cornerback position for Stanford, making a great tackle against the 225-pound wide receiver.
It's their first drive of the year. He's already got 4 catches. Hoover in the pocket, scrambling. Hoover going to try to run for it, and he will. Got to that left side, and he got the first down. Not by much. It was close, but he does get the first down.
That's a really great play by Josh Hoover. Linebacker number 0, Gaithan Bernadell's bearing down, blitzing from the middle linebacker position. Josh Hoover doesn't see anybody open. Gets a little bit of help by his running back, Cam Cook, on the block outside. Great job of taking what the defense gives you and picking up a first down for your offense.
Kind of play that maybe when he showed up to Fort Worth wouldn't have been able to make. He's definitely in better shape. A little more quickness. Throws here, middle, caught. Almost to the goal line, just short. Jack Besh tried to get there, and TCU's going to hurry to the line. Trey Sanders is in, the goal line back. They'll give him the ball, and Sanders went backwards. Well, I do think sometimes, Brock, you get in such a rush to try to punch it in, maybe you don't get organized yourself.
You do, and you're trying to take advantage of a defense that you're thinking is not going to be set. But then the veteran linebacker, Tristan Sinclair, shows up running through a free A gap, making a great tackle for the Stanford Cardinal. Sometimes, like you mentioned, that tempo can come back to bite you a little bit. You've seen TCU going back and forth between tempo and huddling, and with the new coach-to-player communication in the helmet, I'd expect to see a lot of that back and forth tempo-wise with TCU tonight.
Extra big blocker in the backfield, handoff right side, and again, Stanford was there. This time it was Cam Cook, and we'll see where his forward progress was. They will spot him all the way back outside the 5. He lost 3, almost 4 yards.
It was a great play by number 11, Tevarua Tafiti, setting the edge and then allowing the rest of his defense to rally to the tackle. The Stanford defense is playing inspired football right now, flying around with their hair on fire.
Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator. TCU had 1st and goal at the 1. Now it's 3rd and goal at the 5. Spread it out a little more with Cook in the backfield, and Hoover's going to throw toward Williams, and he caught it. Touchdown. I think Stanford wanted the push off. You see Sinclair arguing there, but no penalty flag, and Savion Williams with a monster first drive of the year.
Well, when you have the 6'5", 225-pound receiver that is hungry for the football, you throw it up to him down in the red zone, and this is what you get. I think it was a really good no call by the officials here. Both guys are hand fighting a little bit. Yes, you're going to see Williams late in the play kind of extend the arm. It's a 50-50 call, but I do like to see when officials allow the receivers and DBs to play.
13 plays for TCU. There are not many games, especially first game of the season, where both teams get the ball, and on their very first drive, 13 plays. Leave. Stanford is 1-14. They gotta find a way to play better here at home. So far tonight, the opener in 2024, it's a stalemate. 7-7. TCU. Cardinal have the ball when we come back.
A lot on and off the field. A new offensive coordinator, a hamstring injury, and he became a first-time father to his baby girl, Legacy Lee, who was born prematurely with a heart defect. Savion told me she had to be kept in the NICU 17 weeks, had multiple surgeries, including one in a valve in her heart the first day of fall camp last year. He told me at times when he was on the field, his mind was not, but he saw that picture. Legacy Lee is doing great now. She's happy and healthy, and her dad feels a big weight off his shoulders.
And I think the entire Big 12 should be on notice after that first drive. Looks like it is going to be a huge year for Savion Williams based on the way TCU ran that first drive. Let's see that picture. I think we should. She's doing great. There's Legacy Lee. Now that's a great smile. She's happy, Dad's happy, and Dad is ready for a huge year.
I'd say so.
Meanwhile, Stanford with a 6-yard completion and then a short 1-yard run. So it's 3rd and 3. Second possession for the Cardinal. And Daniels is going to keep it. And I don't know. He got tripped up, and they're going to spot him a little bit short. You have to get to.
Out with those penalties now?
Yeah, we had two 3rd and long situations. We bailed them out with penalties and let the quarterback get out once. So we just got to settle in and play. I like the way we're playing. We just got to, kind of clean it up a little bit.
Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Sonny. Thanks, Stormy. Justin Lamson, the power quarterback in, and Brock, Stanford went for it on 4th down.
We talked about this during the commercial break. I really love that decision by Troy Taylor. It just shows his confidence and belief that he has in his young football team, and that'll go a long ways.
And that's the short yardage guy. I mean, Justin Lamson he's not massive, but he's just a powerful runner. We will see him in this game in those kind of spots. Daniels pressured, and Daniels is going down. Ashton Daniels, he's been holding on to the ball here in this first half, and the sack for Cooper McDonald.
Well, that was a sack party for the Horned Frogs. There was a bunch of white jerseys there in the backfield. Cooper McDonald will get credited with the sack, but there was a bunch of white jerseys running free there. TCU electing to bring pressure there on first down. That's one thing defensive coordinator Andy Avalos is known for, a very aggressive, pressuring style defense.
Second sack for the Horned Frogs, a loss of 7. So 2nd and 17, just a couple plays in to the second quarter. Daniels being pressured again, and he's going to heave it down the field, and it's caught. How about that catch by Jackson Harris coming across the middle? Now it's not a first down, but they get 11 yards back.
I love the competitive spirit by quarterback Ashton Daniels. Once again, TCU brings pressure. Ashton Daniels finds a play downfield.
And they get into a quick snap situation on 3rd down, and Daniels throws it away. I don't know about that one. McDonald with more pressure there, so now it's 4th down, and Stanford will have to punt. They were in a big hurry.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a little bit of confusion between the Stanford offense there. You see a couple offensive linemen pointing fingers. Ashton Daniels didn't seem too happy about it. That's one of those deals. If you're going to play with tempo, and especially on 3rd down, you better be sure you're on the same page, because that 3rd down, that's the money down. It's a critical situation for your football team.
So a good job by TCU to get the stop there. Aiden Flintoft is the punter for Stanford, and J.P. Richardson back to receive. And now a flag thrown. I think Stanford moved. Special teams penalty.
Ball start, offense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So 5 yards backwards. That's young Aaron Morris. A lot of young players are going to play for the first time tonight for Stanford. Morris is a sophomore. They do have a full roster for the first time in years. I mean, Stanford's been way short of their scholarship numbers for several years in a row now. Flintoft, good punt, sends Richardson all the way back, but he makes a man miss. A penalty flag thrown. Return outside the 25, close to the 30. So a 50-yard punt and a pretty good return, but we'll see who the flag's on.
During the return, holding receiving team number 21. 10-yard penalty, 1st down, TCU.
So that'll
Timeout.
hurt the field position for TCU. They'll have the ball for the first time in the second quarter when we come back to Palo Alto.
Champion is. It's going to be super exciting, and I can't wait to watch it play out.
And that's down the road. Here we are, the first full weekend of the season. TCU's second possession for them, and the handoff straight ahead. Just not much room there. So far, Stanford has defended the run fairly effectively. TCU threw the ball down the field their first time. Wilfredo Ibar was in on the tackle. Sonny Dykes, very confident guy after a 5-7 massive disappointment last year. He feels like this year is going to be a whole lot better. Play fake, and Josh Hoover rolling right, throws, and a nice completion for a first down. That's J.P. Richardson. The ball came out, and Stanford grabbed it out of the air. The Cardinal have it on a turnover.
That is so uncharacteristic of wide receiver J.P. Richardson. He was really a go-to target, one of the most reliable guys on the team last year for Josh Hoover. But then there you see number 5, Jay Green, come in for Stanford. Right time, right place, hustling to the football. Coaches always say if you hustle to the play, whether you're on the backside or not, good things are going to happen. Jay Green, the transfer for Washington, comes up with the football. What a huge play for Stanford here in the second quarter.
So it might have been David Bailey who hustled down the field to get the hit on and force the fumble. And then Jay Green was there, right place, right time. First turnover of the season for TCU.
Tell you what, the coaching staff is going to be so excited to see that out of David Bailey, a player that has all the potential in the world, but he's kind of had an up and down career, forcing the fumble for Stanford.
And that is officially a completion, a catch, and a fumble. Another kind of misdirection play. Stanford's tried that twice to CC, and how many times has it worked?
Yeah, it really hasn't worked early on.
0 times.
Zachary Chapman there for TCU to set the edge. Not allowed the play to get downfield.
That counts as a tackle for loss. 5th one already for TCU. Pass low and incomplete, intended for Jackson Harris. So Stanford gets a turnover, and right away it'll be 3rd and long for the Cardinal. Turnovers were a bit of an issue last year, certainly much more so than the year before.
No question. When they went on that national title run, they ended the season in plus territory and turnover margin. You see where they ended up last year is something that plagued the football team all season long.
Elic Ayomanor has been quiet so far. TCU's defended him well. He's on the right side of Stanford's formation on 3rd and 11. Handoff straight ahead and a big hole. Irvin cuts it upfield, and he got enough for a Stanford first down. How about that?
Great block by right tackle Connor McLaughlin. Right side of your screen, just washing down the defensive line for TCU, opening up a huge hole for Cedric Irvin. Great execution by Stanford.
And the Horned Frogs did not see that coming. So an excellent play call, running the ball on 3rd and 11. Now Ford and Irvin both are in the backfield with Daniels. It's 1st and goal, Stanford. It'll be Ford, left side run. Ford tripped up. He tried to get around that corner and just couldn't quite do it. Jamel Johnson got there to make the tackle.
Johnson, Obi Izor, both flying around the football field tonight, doing a great job of playing laterally, getting out to the sideline, showing that speed. That was one thing that this defense does not lack. The team speed for TCU's defense is very impressive.
Johnson, I think you could see him cupping his ears there. I think he's the guy who's got the communication with the coaches on that TCU defense. Tighter formation, Irvin straight ahead, and again, well defended. The Horned Frogs were right there. Devin Deal, another tackle, maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd and goal.
3rd and goal. This is a situation you got to find your go-to receivers. You have to really get a touch tonight. Elic Ayomanor, big number 13, 6'2", 210 pounds, one of the best receivers in the entire country.
That catch, the most memorable of all his memorable catches last year at Colorado, with Travis Hunter draped all over him, where he somehow found a way to bring the ball in.
It's at the bottom of your screen.
Ashton Daniels, the quarterback, will hand it off again. Irvin left side, and TCU was ready. So Stanford took him by surprise on 3rd and long, not on 3rd and goal.
So that tells me one thing: it's 4-down territory. If you're going to hand the football off on 3rd down like Troy Taylor elected to, and here you go, you see heavy personnel running onto the football field right now. Quarterback Justin Lamson coming in, the short yards goal line quarterback. He's strong, he's physical, downhill runner. I like this call by Troy Taylor.
Eyes got big for one of those TCU defensive coaches. So Stanford going for it on 4th and goal. Under center, play fake, looking to throw, end zone, caught, touchdown, Ishmael Cece. And Lamson waited a long time for him to come all the way across the back of the end zone, and he put it right on the money.
Great throw by Justin Lamson, known mostly as a running quarterback, like we mentioned, right? Tough, physical, downhill guy, showing his accuracy there. And there's CC running the back line all the way across the field. Lamson doing a great job on a hard play action fake, getting the defense to bite up, which is what allows Ishmael to get to that back line. CC showing off that speed on the touchdown.
So Stanford, it took them 7 plays from the 20-yard line after getting the turnover, but on 4th and goal, they went for it, and they got it done. So the turnover leads to points for the Cardinal.
Well, situational football, sudden change. Stanford taking advantage of the fumble by TCU. Jay Green there for the gift. Ishmael Cece with the touchdown for 7.
On that great scene for College Game Day, everybody on the panel picked TCU looking ahead to this Friday night game. We're not calling out our pal Stanford Steve. He's the biggest booster of this Stanford program there is, but TCU big time favorite coming into this one. Now look, Brock, there's a long way to go here tonight, but the Cardinal showing some real fight, up 14-7.
No question. What's the game day crew know? But I'll say this. You know, listen, TCU a season ago, turnovers really plagued them, especially at critical moments. Just a series ago, you're backed up in your own end zone. You have another turnover. But credit Stanford. They do what great teams do. When you get those sudden change moments, you take advantage of them. They're able to find a way to get into the end zone.
You got Everhart back at the goal line and now creeping up. He's going to return this one. Coming middle, and he gets hit short of the 15-yard line. That's where TCU has the ball. Our Labor Day weekend, ESPN and ABC college football lineup keeps going, and what a triple header we have for you tomorrow. #1 Georgia and Clemson. That's a great game. Noon Eastern. Miami, Florida at 3:30 Eastern. Notre Dame, Texas A&M on Saturday night. You got Sunday night USC and LSU in Vegas, and Monday night BC in Tallahassee for what all of a sudden is a must-win for Florida State.
Listen, stock the fridge, get the kids some activities, turn the TV on. What a slate of college football we are in for this weekend. I can't wait.
Yeah, all those screen rules, kids, you get a break. It's a holiday weekend. You go watch some Bluey. Throw across the middle with a big hit on Hoover. And the pass incomplete, trying to get it to Savion Williams. It'll be second down. Man, Hoover took a pop. That's Clay Patterson. Stanford coaches were raving about him.
Yes, they were. They could not wait to see him play in live bullets tonight, and you can see why. Clay Patterson coming over from Yale. Big hit on the quarterback. Like that coverage there by cornerback Colin Wright on Savion Williams.
They're asking a lot of Colin Wright. He's the guy to match up with Williams. Now this one complete to the right side, and a nice turn upfield for a TCU first down. That's Jack Besh. I have a feeling he's going to be heavily involved this year for the Horned Frogs.
Well, listen, when the coaching staff names you the MVP of spring ball, expect to get the football early and often.
Just a good turn upfield that time from a guy who started his career at LSU and was a good player, converted tight end. Across the middle, and that one is complete out to midfield. Beautiful delivery to Richardson for the catch. Another TCU first down.
Perfect throw, great strike point accuracy, but I love Josh Hoover coming right back to JP Richardson. JP had the turnover a series ago. Get him back involved in the game. He's one of your best playmakers.
Cradled that one very decisively after making that catch. Handoff right side. Cam Cook gets upended into Stanford territory inside the 45. And Manley, the cornerback who came up and made that hit, that one stung him a little bit. Zarin Manley got up slow. We're going to take a timeout. Stanford up 7, TCU on the move. They're at least partially dressed here at Stanford Stadium, and they're watching Josh Hoover put on a show in this first half.
I tell you what, he's being decisive with the football. He's making great decisions, getting the football out of his hand quickly, getting it to his go-to guys. I love how he's playing early on in this football game. All that hype that he got in the offseason, deservedly so early on in this ball game.
Yeah, it's easy to see why Sonny Dykes feels like he's got his guy.
Keep an eye out for a big shot play down the field here. Second and short, you've crossed midfield. This has shot territory written all over it if you can find your matchup. Savion Williams is at the bottom of your screen, matched up one-on-one.
Colin Wright, that assignment. Instead, they'll hand it off. Cook changes direction, spins for a TCU first down.
Well, I'm 0 for 1 on the season.
I want you to keep going for it. Don't let that hold you back. Because when you're right, nobody remembers all the times.
I know what I would have done with Savion one-on-one outside in man coverage.
Looks like he's there again. Hoover's going right side and incomplete. Incomplete, intended for Besh. Well, I think it's pretty obvious, as much as they want to get Savion Williams the ball, Jack Besh is priority too.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Listen, Savion Williams, JP Richardson, they're going to draw a lot of attention, which is going to open up a lot of one-on-one matchups for Besh, which is what he had there on cornerback Amari Porter. Great job with the coverage down the field. But that's the great thing. When you're the number 2 or 3 or 4 receiver on a team and you have a star like Savion Williams, all he's going to do is help you get open.
2nd and 10. Kendall Briles taking a long time to get this call in. Play clock all the way down to 2 before Hoover gets it snapped. Throw is, I thought that hit the ground, but they say complete. So that's a catch and a good effort by Major Everhart.
You know, you mentioned the play clock running down last play. I really like what Kendall Briles, the offensive coordinator, has done early on in this ball game. He's switching up the tempo on Stanford, going fast, huddling. Stanford doesn't know what's coming next.
Weird that Williams is on the sideline. 3rd down, and the throw across the middle, a catch, but an immediate hit by Tristan Sinclair, and TCU is several yards short, maybe 4 yards short. And now Williams is coming back on the field. I think the Horned Frogs are going to go for it.
I like this call. TCU has a true freshman kicker. Very heralded high school career coming out of Texas. But he's not proven at this level. So I like the decision here with the long field goal situation to go for it on 4th down by Sonny Dykes.
It would be like a 48, 49 yarder. Instead going for it on 4th and 4. Hoover back to pass. Screen play. Cook with the catch. And he will dive forward and get the 1st down.
That's pretty close.
I called it early. I thought they spotted him ahead, but no, he did not get it. So Stanford's defense comes up with the stop.
Yeah, and what an effort by Stanford. Just a catch and carry play by TCU. That was going to Cam Cook the whole way. Stanford doing a great job of getting off the blocks.
Yeah, he was short.
It's Mitch Lieber coming in, number 32, with the diving effort.
And they may stop and take a look. And I can. It's such an important play. It's 4th down. It's a change of possession play. But I do think that elbow came down on that out of bounds line, still short of the 1st down line.
I agree with you, Flem. I think this is going to be Stanford football going the opposite way.
They heard me yelling from up here that it was a 1st down. They decided to review it, but he was short. I know that yellow line is not official, but it's close, and that ball's not close.
No, Cam Cook is well short of the line to gain. Like I said, give a lot of credit to that Stanford defense. Holding up, getting the 4th down stop. It's big time football.
Look, you could parse it with the numbers, but Stanford's defense might have been the worst in all of FBS last year.
No question. When you start looking at
further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. 1st down Stanford.
What a stop.
It's a huge stop, and give Stanford all the credit in the world. Like you mentioned, we saw what the game day crew, what their selections were. Everybody took TCU. Nobody even thought about Stanford, and obviously there's still 2.5 quarters of football to play. But Stanford deserves a lot of credit. Coming out, scoring on the opening drive, leading the football game right now, playing much better football than last year.
Hey, what did Tristan Sinclair say to Stormy before the game? We feel like we're the most improved team in the country. Ashton Daniels in the pocket, throws, and it hits the back of the linebacker and ricochets. It's intercepted by Tyman Mitchell. I think it hit Johnny Hodges right in the back. It bounced up in the air, and the 320-pound D lineman gets a pick.
How about that? You don't see that play every day. Like you said, Johnny Hodges, linebacker, just getting hit right in the back with the football. He had blanket coverage. And then Tyman Mitchell, the big fella, 91, 6'3", 320 pounds, right place at the right time.
What a weird carom, huh?
Hodges did a great job of breaking on that football. Tell you what, I know that TCU football team is happy to have him back.
Yeah, you said it. He was a big part of the team that made the college football playoff, played for a national championship, got hurt, and missed most of last year. And for the Stanford offense, their first turnover of the year gives TCU possession just outside the red zone. 1st down, play fake across the middle. There's Williams with another catch. Already his 6th of the game. And now a penalty flag thrown. A helmet got ripped off. Drake Dabney, the tight end, had his helmet ripped off.
I think he was having a little conversation down there with 23. David Bailey forced the fumble early on in the football game for Stanford. See Bailey coming to the sideline.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Stanford, number 23, his first of the game. Half the distance to the goal penalty, first down.
You get a second one.
TCU does not have to leave the game since the foul was why his helmet came off.
That's a good explanation there. Ordinarily, your helmet comes off, you got to leave for a play, not if an opposing player rips it off. So Bailey, a big penalty, and it's first and goal, TCU at the 5.
That's the inconsistency we've seen out of David Bailey in his career at Stanford. A couple series ago, forces a big-time play, forces a fumble, but then he comes back with the undisciplined play, loses his cool, hurts his football team.
A very talented young man, but that's a mistake. So now Hoover in the shotgun. First and goal, Horned Frogs. Play fake over the top, incomplete. Trying to get it to Williams, who had 1, 2, 3. How many defenders were around him? A few.
Seemed like a third of the Stanford defense. That looked like an RPO, a run pass option for TCU. Looks like Josh Hoover got a little bit greedy there. Probably needed to give that football to the running back. Just nowhere to go to Savion Williams. Credit the Stanford defense. Mitch Lieber, 32. Colin Wright doing a great job in coverage.
Second and goal. Under 5 minutes to go, second quarter. Stanford leading by a touchdown. Another play fake, another throw to Williams, and a good tackle by Colin Wright. Just a very short gain.
Credit right there. Colin Wright does a great job. TCU's trying to run a natural pick play. Colin Wright does a great job of staying with Savion Williams and running underneath that pick and being there for the tackle. It's a heads-up play by the junior defensive back.
So now it's third and goal. Dominique Johnson in the game, maybe for the first time. They fake it to him. Hoover rolling right, and he has to throw it away. He had a chance to get it to his tight end, Chase Curtis, but under big-time pressure, and the field goal team's coming out.
Yeah, Curtis was open late, but it just took so long for the play to develop. Give Tristan Sinclair, number 8, a lot of credit on that play, blitzing from the linebacker position and putting a lot of pressure on quarterback Josh Hoover.
The flip side of that, Brock, is Hoover, he took a lot of criticism last year for being overly aggressive, forcing the ball at times.
No question, and a lot of those plays happened down in the red zone. There was 9 red zone turnovers. The fact that nothing was there when the pressure came and he threw it away, when he knew he had 3 points in his back pocket, that shows growth and maturity.
First career field goal try for Kyle Lemmerman, and he kind of hooked it through the left side, just got it through there. So I know they're disappointed to get 3, but I do think a little growth there from Hoover not to force something that could have turned out very badly.
Absolutely. That's managing the game. You're going to see Tristan Sinclair coming off the edge for Stanford. Does a great job from the linebacker position. Listen, he is the heartbeat of this defense, making plays nonstop all over the field. If he doesn't create that pressure on Josh Hoover, I think Josh should be able to make the throw to tight end Chase Curtis for the touchdown.
So the Horned Frogs drive the ball down the field, and not too far. They came up with the turnover, and instead of a touchdown, they get the field goal.
You know what? Give the Stanford defense a ton of credit there. Sudden change, you're backed up in your own end zone, and you hold TCU, a high-powered offense, to 3 points. That feels like a big-time win.
Yeah, they took over at the 22-yard line and only gave up the 3. So now Stanford will get the ball back. Bryce Farrell deep to return. Now that one is headed toward the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Well, here are Saturday's SEC college football games on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus. You got Mississippi State hosting Eastern Kentucky at 6 Eastern. Number 6 Ole Miss, huge season for Ole Miss, hosting Furman at 7 Eastern. Then Auburn and Alabama A&M at 7:30 Eastern. You can download the ESPN app or go to espnplus.com/schedule to watch. Ashton Daniels back out on the field after throwing an interception. He's got the true freshman Micah Ford alongside in the backfield. Daniels backpedaling and throws and found his man. Wow, that looked like a dangerous throw, but Ayomanor finally has his hands on the ball. His first catch of the season. It goes for 21 yards.
That's the play where coach says, no, throw it away, throw it away. Oh, hey, great play, Ashton. Incredible play by the quarterback.
Off your back foot, pressure in your face. How about Ford? And a nice, powerful run for the true freshman. That's a Stanford first down. It's like the perfect example of what you're talking about.
No question. This throw by Daniels is just something you can't coach. He's shown his athleticism, how much talent he has. The thing I love most about the play, he's under extreme pressure, but he keeps his eyes down the field and remains a passer.
So into TCU territory. Ford gets another carry. This time got stopped. Johnny Hodges has been everywhere in this first half.
Think he's excited to be back on the field?
I do believe he is.
Boy, he has been playing with his hair on fire tonight, making play after play.
And he's got such a cool story too. He's the kid who started at Navy, and he was a lacrosse player.
Lacrosse player, played a little bit of football, and when he was at Navy, they played SMU when Sonny Dykes was there. He played such a great game. When Sonny got the job at TCU, he said, hey, you need to come play some football for me.
That was a good decision. Daniels, a quarterback draw out into the open. First down and down close to the 20-yard line. A design play. And Ashton Daniels with his legs has been a big factor in the first half. 20 more yards.
Want to highlight the running back, Cedric Irvin, number 26. Great lead block there on the middle linebacker. And that's what sparks Ashton Daniels for the big play down the field.
So the Cardinal on the move. Final 2.5 minutes of the first half. And they're at the TCU 20. And letting the clock wind a little bit here might be intentional. Remember, you have the 2-minute timeout, which is coming up shortly. Now a penalty.
The false start.
False start, offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, first down.
I want to go back to the play before. Cedric Irvin at the running back position just does a great job leading up on linebacker Max Carroll. That's what sparks Daniels on the explosive run.
It was really good block by the running back.
Why they returned 19 starters from last year's team. A lot more experience, a lot more continuity. They're showing it tonight.
Returned every single assistant coach, all of them. So players and coaches. Play fake, Daniels over the top, and that one is incomplete. Wow, there was a handful of jersey there. No penalty flag came out. Jackson Harris has been very involved, and good coverage by Broughton.
Yeah, I don't totally agree with that no call there. I think Travis Broughton, the transfer from Utah, playing corner for the Horned Frogs this year, I think he got away with one. There looks like there's a good fist and a handful of jersey there. But sometimes you get away with it in football.
Yeah, you hear the boos around Stanford Stadium. They showed the replay up on the big video boards. 2nd and 15. Remember, there was the penalty. Now a handoff. Ford straight ahead. Ford kept his balance inside the 20 down to the 17. One thing that Troy Taylor told us, we didn't have nearly enough missed tackles from our running backs last year. They're counting on that from that guy. Timeout TCU. They want to save some clock. So the Horned Frogs will use the timeout. 1:46 to go until halftime. So it'll be 3rd and 7. Look, this is a tall task for Troy Taylor, because Stanford, all the success from a decade and more ago, but they hadn't had much success. First season in the ACC. I mean, they've been involved in the Pac-12, some iteration of that league, since the early 20th century. Troy Taylor, second year as head coach, all the continuity that Brock was just talking about. And I like the way you put it. Some quiet but true optimism about this being a better year.
Yeah, and rightfully so. And I think it starts with a number of things. It starts with the guys that came back. You see right there, returned 19 and 22 starters. 85% of the production done last year by this football team returned, which was good for second best in the FBS, only behind Iowa State at 86%. So a lot of experience, and they did a tremendous job in recruiting, bringing in some talented players.
They've had some big conversions here. A throw incomplete. More good coverage there, trying to get it to Jackson Harris. And so it'll be 4th down. That was Lamarion James with the coverage that time. So Emmett Kenny, the place kicker, who's new as a starter, not new at Stanford. He had to sit around and wait for year after year while Josh Carty was an All-American. This will be a 35-yard field goal try from the left hash. Good snap and hold, and that kick is up and good. So that's the first field goal in the career of Emmett Kenny, and Stanford's lead is back to 7. Coaches definitely get nervous about the specialists in week 1 for sure. How about week 1 ACC Network college football tomorrow? Syracuse hosting Ohio U, and in primetime that Georgia Tech team against Georgia State. What a win for the Yellow Jackets over in Dublin. Every game available on the ESPN app. You can watch anywhere. Well, Sonny Dykes used that timeout, so he's got plenty of time on the clock for a 2-minute style drive.
He's got more than enough time. 2 timeouts, and don't forget this: TCU gets the ball to start the second half. So if they can find a way to go get some points here, get some points to open up the 3rd quarter, they're right back in this ball game.
After the field goal, Stanford will kick it back to the Horned Frogs. And it's going to be a touchback. I would imagine that part of the 2-minute offense will be, hey, you know who we should get the ball to? How about number 3, Savion Williams?
No question. He's exactly who I'd be looking for. Listen, 7 grabs already tonight, 51 yards and a touchdown. He's done it all, and really since the very first drive of the game, came out with 5 receptions in that first series, and you see him just going up, kind of Deboing the defender there. Going up with that big body, 6'5", 225 pounds. I tell you what, he is going to be someone to reckon with in the Big 12 this year. He's put the entire conference and country on notice.
7 catches. The rest of his team has 8 total. 9 targets out of 19 attempts from Josh Hoover. First play of the drive, and a quick completion in the open field, though. The tackle, DJ Rogers, with the catch, gain of 8.
Good start to the drive. You always want to find a positive play on your first play in a 2-minute series.
Clock continues to move. They'll hand it off. Right side run, and that one stuffed. Tristan Sinclair, no first down. Clock moves. Let's see if Sonny Dykes he's not calling timeout. They'll just get up and go for 3rd down.
I love how Tristan Sinclair plays football. There's no hesitation in his game. He diagnoses the play, beats the right tackle to the spot, makes the tackle in the backfield.
3rd and 2 across the middle, complete to Williams. First down TCU and more. Savion Williams, so tough to bring down out to midfield. He got 17.
Tell you what, Savion Williams is a man on a mission. We showed his baby girl earlier on tonight. You get this sense he's healthy. He's playing for her. She's feeling good. Tell you what, he's out to prove some people wrong this year.
Still 2 timeouts. Didn't use one there. The clock rolled the whole time. Going deep across the middle, and it's caught. What a catch by Jack Besh. Inside the 5 for 46 yards.
What a throw and catch. You couldn't have handed that football to Jack Besh in a better location. Josh Hoover showing off his strike point accuracy. Incredible play by the duo.
That was good coverage from Jay Green.
Great coverage, but there's no coverage for the perfect pass.
And the ball's loose. A muffed exchange, and Stanford comes up with it. Oh my goodness. The red zone turnover. Clay Patterson found the ball. The grad transfer from Yale comes up with the fumble. Cook and Hoover, and they just couldn't get the handoff executed.
The same issues that plagued the Horned Frogs a season ago come back to bite them tonight. A turnover in the red zone 9 a season ago. Just complete confusion between Josh Hoover and running back Cam Cook. It seemed like Josh felt like Cam was supposed to take it. Cam felt like it was maybe a play action fake. Maybe it was some type of RPO. But I put that one on the quarterback. As the quarterback, you need to make sure that mesh is clean. And if it's not clean, then hey, keep the football yourself, eat it, and play to live another down. You just cannot have those critical turnovers in scoring position.
I'm sure TCU's thinking, punch it in, get the touchdown, tie the game, get the ball coming out of the locker room. Instead, they go to the locker room still down 7. What a huge play.
I'll tell you what, if you're Sonny Dykes at this point, you thought that these, a lot of credit to Stanford with the 7-point lead. They've taken advantage of that sloppy play and the miscues by TCU.
So the kickoff, Horned Frogs get the ball to start the second half, and a kick return. Man, that was kind of a strange ending to that play. I don't know if the ball started to come out or what for Major Everhart. He might be hurt. He sort of started to accelerate and then really slowed up, and obviously something was wrong. Hopefully he's okay. Yikes.
Anytime a player pulls up like that with very little contact, that's a scary look. I hope he's okay.
Hope so.
Dynamic player for the Horned Frogs.
So he'll leave the field, and Sonny Dykes will send his offense out. A very costly turnover right at the end of the first half. TCU got the big play down the field. They had 1st and goal around the 5-yard line, and they fumbled.
They did, and that's a play that we've been told that Josh Hoover's cleaned up, right? There was 9 turnovers by TCU in the red area last year. Josh Hoover, his intangibles, he's got to clean that up moving on in the second half.
So Cook alongside Hoover as we start the second half. A handoff to Cook, and he cuts it back right, gets tripped up after a gain of 2. Let's go down to Stormy.
Well, Dave and Brock, Sonny Dykes surely shares your frustrations. That was the first thing that he said to me when I talked to him in the tunnel. He said we can't have all of these miscues, especially the way that they've been coming at inopportune times. He told the players, we need to settle in and play like you know how to play. Take care of the football. As for, by the way, Troy Taylor in this defense, he said they are bend but don't break and expects more of the same here.
Kind of that style of defense on that play. Savion Williams got the catch, but was stacked up short of the first down, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
Savion Williams having a monster night through one half of football for TCU. Already 9 receptions and 75 yards. Really like what Josh Hoover did there. His first target was not open, moved through his progression, found Savion Williams on the outside.
Now this is interesting. On 3rd and 1, Josh Hoover leaves the field. Is that the freshman, Hoss Haney?
Sure is. Highly touted freshman.
An interesting spot to bring him in for his first snap. He hands the ball off, and I don't know. That was close. I think TCU did get the first down, and that spot definitely indicates a first down. So Dominique Johnson, the power runner, just enough to get it.
What an effort by Dominique Johnson. Met right in the hole by Gythan Bernadelle.
Now Haney stays in the game. He's on the move. Haney. Nice tough run there. You can see what they like about him, even in just one play, that burst he's got.
Well, Haney is certainly super talented. Coming out of Aledo, Texas, back-to-back state champion. You know, this guy's got big-time playmaker written all over him. Just a true freshman, but you can see his speed. He's obviously a very dynamic player, and somebody Sonny Dykes wants to get on the field because he can make a difference.
And Josh Hoover, look, I don't want to read too much into it, but he looked a little stunned over there on the sideline. Haney keeps it. Haney, there's that linebacker you were just talking about. Bernadelle hit him hard.
Well, that's definitely a welcome to big-time college football moment. Running into the senior linebacker, 227 pounds coming downhill at you. You talk about Josh Hoover looking a little bit stunned. I would assume he's just disappointed. I have a feeling with a true freshman quarterback that's as talented as Haney as Hoover comes back out on the field right now, this was probably planned going into this football game. Hey, we have this super talented true freshman quarterback. We got to get him some playing time. The first series of the second half will get him some reps.
So now Hoover back on the field for 3rd and 3. TCU getting the ball first here. Play clock winding down. Took a little while to get him out there. They get the play snapped across the middle, and a perfect throw for a first down to J.P. Richardson. Now there is a penalty flag back in the backfield, so we'll see. And there was a TCU offensive lineman with a Stanford D lineman sort of tangled together. This one might be coming back. Penalties were a big part of the story in the first half.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 52. That's a 15-yard penalty. The line of game was made. It will be 1st and 10.
So it is a first down because the penalty came after the end of the play, but it basically negates all of the positive yardage for TCU.
That's right. And the foul's on James Brockermeyer, the center that transferred in from Alabama in the offseason. Coming out of high school, he was the #1 rated center in the country. You know, as a coach, you love seeing the aggressive play, but that's just a hit that's not quite necessary. You know, week 1, the officials are going to call the game close, but, you know, if you're a TCU fan, probably okay to say that was a little ticky-tack.
Brand new, almost brand new offensive line across the board for the Horned Frogs this year. And that transfer portal, a big source of their new talent. 1st and 10. And a play fake for Hoover in the pocket. Another one across the middle. This one a little behind Williams and incomplete.
Yeah, Williams trying to slow down and come back for that football. Josh Hoover, who's been super accurate all night. This is really one of his first misses. On the 3rd down, I thought he threw a great second window slant to J.P. Richardson. Just a little bit off target there on 1st down.
Oh, Heaney, who just came in the game on the bench for TCU. Straight ahead run and a good run for Cam Cook, the sophomore. It'll be 3rd and short. He got 8. And it looks like a little quicker tempo for Kendall Briles here on 3rd and 2. Just short of midfield. Swing pass out to the left side. The cut upfield and a nice cut. And another broken tackle, J.P. Richardson. Big time play.
J.P. Richardson, just such a reliable wide receiver for the Horned Frogs. 46 catches a year ago. Honorable mention, all Big 12. Did a great job out in space in the open field. He has linebacker number 8, Tristan Sinclair, just bearing down on him, who doesn't miss a whole lot of tackles. Does a great job of cutting back, getting upfield, and getting the 1st down.
Give TCU credit. They're 7 of 9 on 3rd downs in this game. 3 receiver formation on 1st and 10 into Stanford territory. Handoff and a good run. The ball comes out and it bounces straight to the TCU receiver Besh, who then runs it forward inside the 25. Trey Sanders got the carry. The ball came flying out. And what a break for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, serious break. Besh there to save the day. Good to see Trey Sanders back out there on the field. He's really had an injury bug his whole college career. The transfer from Alabama. Jack Besh in the right place at the right time to save his buddies. The great heads-up play by the wide receiver.
And he even got some extra yardage at the end of it. So Cook back in. Sanders immediately came off the field. TCU's had the ball for 5 minutes now. Play fake. Hoover throws incomplete. Well covered there, intended for the tight end Dabney.
Great job by Scotty Edwards in coverage there for Stanford. Nowhere to go with the football. Tell you what, this Stanford secondary, they were one of the position groups that was somewhat of a question mark coming into this football game. How talented would they be? What would their cover skills be? Tell you what, against a very deep wide receiver and tight end room for TCU, I think the Stanford secondary's played phenomenal tonight.
Savion Williams been out for a couple plays, and he left the field kind of strangely. I'm wondering if he's a little banged up. Incomplete. Hoover tried to get it very quickly to Besh. Off his hands, it's 3rd and 10. And Williams is coming back into the game.
This is a moment where Josh Hoover needs to grow. Right, young quarterback, still learning the game. We know he has intangibles. We know he has the arm strength. But now you have to make a good decision with the football. You are in field goal range. You have 3 points in your back pocket. If the ball is not there, tuck it and run or throw it away.
They've been perfect on 3rd down on this drive. They get the play snapped. Hoover throws, and it's dropped. Williams had it and dropped it. And so it'll be 4th and 10.
Yeah, that's an uncharacteristic drop by Savion Williams, who's having a monster night for TCU. We give a lot of credit to Colin Wright. You know, he's going to be there to make the play, make the tackle. He's had a big-time challenge covering Savion Williams all night long. And I tell you what, the junior out of Missouri City, Texas, has done a fantastic job for Stanford tonight.
Kyle Lemmerman made his first collegiate kick attempt. Now his second from 42 yards, and this one is on the way, and that one's good. So Kyle Lemmerman so far a perfect debut for him. Seminoles got to win that one.
Yes, they do.
After the field goal, Stanford will take a knee. It's a touchback, and the Cardinal offense will come out on the field for the first time here in the second half. TCU, there have been some glaring mistakes in this game so far.
Yeah, no question. Been a little bit of sloppy play to start the game. J.P. Richardson with the fumble in the first half is really a surefire player for the Horned Frogs. A little sloppy there. Cam Cook coming up short on the 4th down play. And then late in the second quarter, little miscue with the ball handling between Josh Hoover and Cam Cook. Just a play that can't happen. You combine that with 5 penalties for 70 yards with TCU already in this football game. Sonny Dykes said to us early in the week, listen, week 1 you're playing a little bit against yourself. You don't know what you're going to get from your opponents. The fundamentals matter. Don't beat yourself. Currently they're not doing that.
We showed you the total yardage. That's how you double up a team and are still trailing. They have a 2-to-1 total yardage advantage for TCU. Daniels, design run, kind of picking his way forward. Ashton Daniels out into the open and across midfield. Well, I thought he was going down much closer to the line of scrimmage. Jamel Johnson finally tackled him. That's 29 yards.
How about the vision by Ashton Daniels? You're right. There was nowhere to go early on in that football play. TCU is not gap sound in their defense, and Ashton Daniels makes them pay. That's his second run of 20-plus yards in the football game already, showing how dynamic he can be.
He's got 92 rush yards, only 50 passing yards. And Stanford right away into TCU territory. Daniels, why not try it again? That's why. This time they were ready for it.
Yeah, and you know the difference between those two plays is really the TCU defense just being gap sound. You know, Cooper McDonald, number 44, the transfer from San Diego State, originally from the Fort Worth area, doing a great job with his hands, getting off the block and making the tackle.
They love that guy. They think he can be an all-conference player in the Big 12. 2nd and 10, Stanford after the Cooper McDonald tackle. Daniels, little shoulder fake, gets hit, goes over the top, and it's knocked away. Very well defended that time to Travis Broughton.
Yeah, that's pretty close to defensive pass interference. As a defensive back, you have to get your head turned around and eyes back to the football. Didn't really look like Travis Broughton was able to do that. Oh, there, yeah. It's close. It's close. But the thing that I would say about the officials tonight is they've called it the same both ways. They have allowed the receivers, DBs, to compete on the outside.
Ashton Daniels saying he can't hear through the headset. He's not getting a play call. Now he finally does. I mean, this is 3rd and 10, and Stanford's looking a little disorganized. They get the play snapped. Daniels throws, and that one is caught. at about the 40. Now that's going to be well short. Ayomanor only his second catch of the game. It's 4th down and what, about 4?
Yeah, don't be surprised if Troy Taylor elects to go for it here. Looks like it's going to be 4-down territory for Stanford.
Well, I personally like it. You're trying to set the tone, make it a new year. What do you have to lose?
I totally agree. You've already converted on 1 4th down tonight. You've crossed midfield. You have all the momentum. I love the confidence you're showing in your football team.
Play clock under 10. Daniels looking right. Daniels now moving right. Will stop, throw over the top into coverage, and it's tipped up and incomplete. And TCU's defense comes up with the stop to get the ball back.
Great play by Lamarian James, number 6 there for TCU. Great job of getting your defense off. College football expands the playoff system. The NFL does it every other level in college, high school. It's going to be a ton of fun to watch and really exciting.
See, I wasn't kidding when I said you were the perfect guy to explain it.
Oh, and I have a lot more I want to get to.
We'll have plenty of time this year. Handoff on 1st down after the TCU defense gets the stop on 4th down. Cam Cook around the right side for 5 yards. In general, I would say the Stanford running game, the Stanford run defense, and the TCU running game, it's been a little more of a stalemate than you might have expected. Play fake and the throw, another drop. That's number 2 for Savion Williams.
Yeah, that's really unlike him. He's had a big time night tonight. Expected to really carry the load at the wide receiver position. 2nd drop in just as many series.
Now that's the type of thing that makes you think maybe one led to another.
Got to find a way to have a short memory, put it behind you, and play the next play.
3rd down and 5 here.
TCU's had a lot of success tonight. They're converting 3rd downs at 70% a clip right now.
Cook leaves the backfield. Hoover gets pressured, and his pass is almost intercepted. Wow. He threw it into traffic. Stanford, for the first time in a while, got some pressure on it. Aaron Morris almost picked him off.
Well, credit the Stanford defensive front for creating that pressure and forcing the errant throw by Josh. But that's a throw the coaching staff does not want to see Josh make. It was a blind throw. His receiver wasn't looking at him. You can see the confusion on the screen. J.P. Richardson thinks he's supposed to be blocking. That's a play that Josh Hoover in his maturation process needs to find a way. If no one's open, just throw it in the dirt and move on. Allow your team to punt.
First punt here for the lefty, the new punter Ethan Craw, and it's a fair catch from Bryce Farrell outside the 15-yard line. Stanford defense gets the ball back for the offense, and those two are talking about that play.
Well, there was definitely some confusion. Like I said, number 7, J.P. Richardson, he was in a blocking posture. Josh Hoover snapped his head around after looking to the right side of the field. Looked like he was trying to throw him the football. They got to get on the same page.
6:21 to go, 3rd quarter. Stanford offense back on the field. It's been a real quiet night for the Stanford passing game. 6 of 14, Ashton Daniels for 56 yards, and Elic Ayomanor, one of the most talented receivers in the country. 3 targets, 2 catches, 27 yards. Daniels, design quarterback run again. That's becoming a big part of this Stanford offense. Gain of 1.
You know, and you talk about the lack of passing game for Stanford tonight, even though they're still winning the ball game 17-13. And I really think it's because of the pressure that was getting to Ashton Daniels in the backfield by the TCU linebackers and defensive front. He didn't have a lot of time to throw the football in the first half. And Troy Taylor, listen, he's been around the block a long time. He's played the game. He knows what he's doing when it comes to calling plays. They are having success running the football, and he's going to stick with it.
2nd and 9. And they'll fake the jet sweep and throw deep down the left sideline. Incomplete, and more contact down the field. Another play where these officials let the contact go, intended for Harris.
Yeah, I think that's a good no call by the officials. Both players making a great play on the football. I like what Ashton Daniels did, though. He noticed that his wide receiver Jackson Harris is in one-on-one coverage with Travis Broughton. the Utah transfer. And Jackson Harris, he's 6'3". Broughton's 5'11". He's given his taller receiver a chance to make a play on the football.
Harris couldn't do it that time, so now 3rd and 9. Stanford offense is kind of stalled here. More pressure. Daniels flushed, and he will go down, ripped to the ground inside the 5 by Marcel Brooks, who's been around the block. He's played college football for a long time, and he's still playing pretty well.
Well, he's known as a pass rush specialist, and you see why there on that 3rd down play. Great player off the edge. Started his career at LSU, won a national championship, which seems like years ago. But you see his tenacity, plays with a high motor, bringing some energy to this TCU football team.
I mean, it's literally true. He played with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and won the national title in 2019 with LSU. Fair catch, and TCU with that sack is going to have excellent field position for its offense. Just a 38-yard punt. So the Horned Frogs defense coming up with a very
with teammates in the past, start tossing them the football, get their confidence back.
I'm guessing we're going to see them go to Savion Williams sooner rather than later. Handoff up the middle, though. Cook on 1st down, and Cook with a nice run for a TCU 1st down to the 30.
Great job by that TCU offensive line, opening up a big-time hole for Cam Cook. You could have drove a Mack truck through that hole. Great misdirection with the sprint draw.
Little pass fake, and now a nice delivery inside the 10, caught by DJ Rogers. It'll be 1st and goal.
Well, we got some laundry down on the field. This might be coming back.
Penalty flag way back.
Personal foul. Illegal block below the waist. Offense number 4. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Man, that's another huge pen. TCU's had a bunch of really damaging penalties.
Number 4, Cam Cook, coming from the running back position. You are allowed to block below the knee, which is called a chop block, but you have to do it with inside the tackle box on the initial line charge. I think that's the conversation Sonny Dykes is having. He's saying, hey, listen, he was inside the tackle box. That was right on the edge of it. Without having a view from directly behind, it's really hard to tell if he was in or out of that tackle box.
And that's where the penalty yardage just doesn't tell the full story. It was 1st and goal at the 4. They're at the 45. That doesn't get accounted for in that box score. Play fake over the middle, wide open. Besh with the catch and run inside the 10 and stretching for the goal line. He almost got there. What an effort by Besh. Bailey finally got him to the ground, but now it will be 1st and goal.
What a great throw and catch, and give David Bailey, who made the tackle, a lot of credit. He plays defensive end for Stanford, made the play 40 yards down the field.
TCU hustling to the line. Handoff, Cook. Cook, I think he was stopped short. So the short yardage run game for TCU has not been perfect. Now, I don't know why the TCU players are saying touchdown.
Well, and it's these hurry-up situations that have hurt TCU in the run game. Once again, linebacker Tristan Sinclair, nobody gets a hand on him. Sonny Dykes confused with what's going on, thinks he has a touchdown. The real question is where's Cam Cook's knee?
The runner was short of the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, so it just was his body on top of a defender and the knee never went down. And Sonny Dykes is hot. It wasn't an obvious call, I don't think.
I think Sonny's so upset because he thought the original call was a touchdown. And now that it's been called, runner's been short of the goal line, there's going to have to be indisputable video evidence to overturn this. And with that camera angle, it's going to be very difficult to tell where Cam Cook's knee is when the football crosses the white line.
Yeah, the elbow stays up, so the elbow wasn't down when the ball crossed the goal line. But yeah, the question is, can you tell for sure whether that where both knees were up over the turf.
You know, and it looks like Cam Cook is laying on top of linebacker Gythan Bernadelle as he's going down. Maybe that prevents the knee from going down, and that's why I think the TCU football players thought it was a touchdown.
That last angle gives you a better idea that maybe both knees stayed off the turf.
I'm going to call this one a touchdown, Flem.
I think it is. Whether there's enough evidence to overturn the call on the field might be something a little different, but I think it is a touchdown.
I think we had a pretty good shot a couple replays ago showing Cam Cook's knee. It's really sitting on top of Gythan Bernadelle as he's going down. Sonny's still having conversations with the officials.
Well, I know you want to get it right, but at some point you gotta
make a call and play some football.
Gotta make a call.
Yeah, I agree.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called.
And look, do I think that's the right call? My guess is it's not the right call, but by the way they write up these rules for the replay officials, are you 100% positive?
That's it. And it has to be, once again, indisputable video evidence, and we just don't have that here. So probably a good call by the officials. 2nd and goal for TCU.
It should not be an issue here. They're an inch away from the goal line, but you don't want to take it for granted here. Hoover will lead the offense back out on the field, trying to take the lead. Hoover under center. He's going to try to sneak it, and Hoover, to me, definitely got across. We haven't had a signal yet. Now we do. Touchdown, TCU. And the first lead of the night for TCU on the quarterback keeper.
Just an attitude play for TCU. Saying our line's stronger than your line. We want it more than you do. Josh Hoover doing a great job keeping his pad level down. You see Tristan Sinclair, number 8, trying to go over the top to get the stop. Great execution by TCU, a team that really struggled with red area touchdowns a season ago. 83rd in FBS. It's definitely a confidence booster.
So after all that, the Horned Frogs punch it in. Extra point coming here. And that one is up and good. 20-17. TCU's got its first lead, not just of the night, but of the season. And they've really taken control of this game in the 3rd quarter.
They have, and listen, it hasn't been all bad for TCU. You know, we've highlighted the turnovers, we've highlighted the penalties, but when you look at what they've done tonight, that's good. I mean, 367 total yards. Josh Hoover, yes, he's had a couple suspect plays, but for the most part, he's made great decisions with the football. He's approaching 300 yards on the game. The run game is starting to get going in the 2nd half. So, you know, listen, great teams.
It was such a funny sequence there, Brock. The penalty that brought him back to the 45 after they thought they'd have 1st and goal, and then right away, the very next play, Jack Besh, who's having such a big night, made it 1st and goal all over again. And you know, part of that frustration from Sonny Dykes probably was that penalty call that took him out of the 1st and goal scenario. That'll be a touchback. So the Stanford offense has gone cold. They'll be coming back on the field. Saturday's SEC college football games on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus. You got Mississippi State hosting Eastern Kentucky, number 6 Ole Miss and Furman, and Auburn hosting Alabama A&M at 7:30 Eastern. Download the ESPN app. Go to ESPNplus.com/schedule to watch. Well, still Ashton Daniels out there. He's had a mixed kind of night at the quarterback spot.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of help by his offensive line in the passing game. Stanford's done a lot of good things in the run game, but if they're going to pull out this victory tonight here in the second half, they have to find a way to get some pass game going down the field.
Back to pass on first down and sort of retreating. He dumps it down to Micah Ford, the freshman running back. All that to get 2, maybe 3 yards.
Good job by Ashton Daniels keeping that play alive. Nothing open initially downfield into the zone defense by TCU. But does a good job of manipulating the pocket, staying alive, finding his check down and getting some positive yards.
I oversold it. He did all that for 1 yard.
Hey, better than -1 yard.
Or -15, which is what it looked like they were headed for. 2nd and 9 for Stanford. Play fake. No, they handed it off, and Ford goes backwards. Another good play by Devin Deal.
Unbelievable play. Just rolls right over Jake Mikla, left guard. Blows up the play in the backfield. It's a guy that's been playing inspired football tonight.
Well, he was a part of that Tulane program resurgence. Now playing for TCU. Pressure comes. The dump down, the catch, but the immediate open field tackle by Travis Broughton, who's having a great game. A short gain for Stanford, and they're going to have to punt the ball back.
Stanford just trying to hit a little shallow cross versus man coverage, trying to get it into their main playmaker's hand, but give Travis Broughton a ton of credit. It's a great open field tackle.
So a total of 2 yards on that possession for the Stanford offense, which has sputtered here in the third quarter, and give a lot of credit to TCU's defense. Richardson back to receive a low line drive punt. This one's returnable. Richardson going right side, now cuts it up middle, and another possession where the TCU offense is going to have good field position. So just a 38-yard punt and a return of 10 yards. Sonny Dykes' team, after a wobbly first half in a lot of ways, is looking much more confident right now.
Yeah, I think this is the football team that a lot of people were expecting to see out of TCU. They're playing great complementary football right now. Offense, defense, special teams. Josh Hoover's getting in a rhythm. Running back Cam Cook. And the defense is making it very difficult on Stanford.
So they start another drive at their own 45 and hand it off to Cook again. They've been a little more devoted to the running game here, I think, and for the most part that's been successful. Not on that play. Ethan Bernadette, and the third quarter yardage very lopsided. 24 yards, 1 first down for Stanford. TCU has the ball. We start the fourth quarter, and Hoover pressured. He goes down. Now the Stanford bench thought there was a big-time hold. There was no penalty flag, and Sinclair still got there.
Well, the initial pressure comes from 44 Ernest Cooper off the edge, and then Tristan Sinclair is there to clean up the play. Stanford coming out, hair on fire here to start the fourth quarter. Boy, Ernest Cooper fighting through a double team to create that initial pressure. That's big-time football by the big fella.
So the first play of the fourth quarter, now it's 3rd and 21. Hoover is going to throw short, and it's incomplete. Intended for the tight end Dabney. So 4th down, and the Stanford defense, they needed that big time.
Yeah, that was inspired football there. You know, it was time. TCU's had the entire momentum all of the second half. Stanford's back. They're starting to go against the wall. Defense saddles up and gets a big stop for their football team.
Especially after that whole special team sequence with the short punt, the good return. I mean, TCU took over close to midfield, but Stanford's defense holds. So it's still just a 3-point lead. That was a moment where you kind of thought, okay, Horned Frogs are going to go down and start to put this game away. Short punt, fair catch at the 30. And after all that, Stanford actually gains some field position.
Yeah, they do. Great field position. Really one of the first times this half. Now it's time for Troy Taylor to dig deep into that playbook, find some creativity. Ashton Daniels has had some struggles through the air, hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football from the pocket, but he's made up for it with his legs. He's had some huge plays on the ground, a couple runs of 20+ yards. He's shown his physicality, his athleticism. He's really made good decisions with the football all night when the pass game has not been available down the field.
Just 8 of 17, though, throwing the ball. Ayomanor's been quiet. TCU's defended him very well. Empty backfield here. TCU showing a little pressure now. Daniels across the middle, and that's a completion for a gain of 5. That's the tight end Roush.
Yeah, Roush, a good player, reliable player for Stanford. Junior out of Nashville.
Looks like Stanford's decided that part of the solution maybe is a little quicker tempo. Ball thrown over the head of the intended target, CC. When Stanford's gone fast tonight, my impression is it hasn't worked all that well.
No, you're right, and really that almost goes for both teams. But Stanford in particular, right there trying to catch TCU off guard, trying to hit a big play down the field on a big box fade from the slot position. Credit the TCU secondary though, great coverage down the field.
3rd and 5 from the 35. Daniels had to throw off the back foot. Ayomanor adjusted, and it's incomplete. Knocked away. Another play by Broughton. Man, has he made a ton of plays tonight.
Yeah, we keep saying his name, and rightfully so. The transfer from Utah started 29 games for the Utes. He's done a tremendous job on Ayomanor tonight. Does a great job as using the sideline as an extra defender. I love what Broughton did there. He pushed Ayomanor out to the sideline for a little extra help.
And look what Stanford's doing. At least as of now, they're going for it. In their own territory, Troy Taylor on 4th and 5. Daniels rolling right. Daniels going to try to run, and he will not get there. TCU stopped Stanford. Timon Mitchell, and he had some help. The Cardinal took a big chance there going for it on 4th down.
I don't know why you make that decision there. It seemed a bit of a desperation play. 4th and 5, you have a quarter, no question. But there's still a whole quarter to play. You finally got the momentum back in your hand. Play the field position game.
Hoover motioned out of the backfield. Savion Williams takes a direct snap and goes right side. And Williams with that power speed combo down to the 30.
Williams can flat out run in the open field. Little misdirection there with the fake reverse. Direct snap to Savion Williams, just showing how great of a playmaker he truly is.
That's like an easy 7 yards there.
Looked effortless.
So 2nd and 3 for the Horned Frogs. Handoff Cook and a decisive straight ahead move for another TCU first down inside the 30 down to the 25.
Great block by right guard Carson Bruno. Tell you what, Cam Cook has done a tremendous job of seeing the holes tonight. His vision's been absolutely excellent. He's shown how explosive he can be as a one-cut back, getting vertical. Really putting together a nice game.
1st and 10. Hoover, play fake. Hoover down the right sideline, and it's knocked away. Incomplete. Trying to hit Besh. That's Manley with the coverage.
Zeron Manley. Great play. Didn't give up. Battling the whole way down the sideline. Josh Hoover trying to hit Besh on the back shoulder play, which I think was a great decision by the quarterback. But Manley just doing a tremendous job of fighting on the outside and getting the PBU.
They're letting them play on the outside, that's for sure.
I like it. I really do.
2nd down and 10. Hoover 22 of 34, 286 yards. Play fake. Pressure gets away. Hoover is going to run and duck out of bounds. Bernadelle got some pressure on, but Hoover made something out of nothing.
Yes, he did. Bernadelle coming from the linebacker position, doing a great job of getting Josh Hoover off of his spot in the pocket. But I love what Josh Hoover did there. He was pressured. He had to move in the pocket. Nobody was open down the field. He protected the football in scoring range.
It's a big play in this game with 12 minutes to go. 3rd down and 6. Man in motion. Hoover looking left, swings it out in that direction, and it's dropped. J.P. Richardson got his hands on it. And now Sonny Dykes is sending the field goal kicker out.
Well, that was a massive drop, because if J.P. Richardson hauls that in, he is a lead blocker in Cam Cook, and there's a really good chance he scores a touchdown there. Cam Cook's going to be able to deliver a block, and there was no other Stanford defenders between there and the goal line.
Man, got to catch that one. That one's not on Josh Hoover, although he's just 2 for his last 11. Have been some drops in that sequence. This one from 39 yards for Kyle Lemmerman. Kick is on the way, and it's no good. He hooked it to the left. It wasn't a great snap, and that, I think, sort of interrupted the whole operation.
Well, Easton Black, the backup punter, did a phenomenal job as the holder, getting that football down. But Kyle Lemmerman, the true freshman kicker out of South Lake Carroll, misses there. 2017 TCU.
Since their last home win against an FBS team.
Well, hey, maybe that can change tonight for the Stanford Cardinal. That is a long time to be waiting for another home win.
And for years, Stanford was one of the best home teams in the country, and they've been the worst over the last many seasons. Nice pass on the move there to start the drive. Ashton Daniels to Ayomanor.
I experienced it personally. You didn't want to come here and play. You know, through the 2010s, Stanford was top 10 in the nation in home field win percentage.
And I think it's a look, there's lots of things that need to get better about this Stanford program, but that's a place to start for Troy Taylor, just trying to establish some home field advantage. Another completion to Ayomanor, and he just couldn't get away.
Okay, you can get a feel for how this drive's going to go. It's fourth quarter, critical situations. It's time to feed our star wide receiver, Elic Ayomanor. Back-to-back receptions. Great start to the drive for Stanford.
Yeah, it could have been a good big gain there. Good tackle by Jamel Johnson.
I know how these conversations go on the sideline as a former quarterback. The receiver looks at you and he goes, hey, throw me the football.
Not a lot of nuance. And if Ayomanor did in fact do that, I don't blame him. Across the middle, that pass is caught. And how about that, the first catch of the year for Tiger Bachmeier, who in his own right is a talented wide receiver. He's been invisible tonight.
No question. He was one of the brightest spots last year for Stanford. Played as a true freshman, had a tremendous season.
That's his first catch, his first target. Handoff right side, and Ford goes down. So a big-time negative play. Abe Kamara into the backfield for the tackle for loss.
Yeah, coming up from the slot corner position. Great tackle in space in the backfield. Looked like a little nickel pressure right off the edge. It's a great tackle.
So big play by the TCU defense after that first down. 7-yard loss. That's the 9th tackle for loss by TCU tonight. 2nd and long. They bring some pressure, and Stanford actually picked it up pretty well, but the throw was short left and a gain of just a few yards. Kamara another play, and here comes a penalty flag. Oh my goodness. Did TCU do it again?
I think they did. Kamara, as he was getting up off of Bachmeier, gave him a little shove as he was getting off, and I wonder if there were some words said.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, #1 defense. His first of the game. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It was going to be 3rd and 14.
Listen, I know football's an emotional game, but you have a 3-point lead in the 4th quarter. You're a veteran player. You're a senior. You can't do that.
He made two great plays in a row.
That's right. And you force Stanford into a 3rd and long. You're about to get off the field. Give your offense the football. Just a sloppy play.
Yeah. I mean, you can quibble with, was it enough to call the penalty? It's just not smart. 100 yards of penalties now. Daniels scrambling. Daniels is going to run. Daniels had a man downfield. It looked to me like Brock, but he kept it and gets 7.
Yeah, tight end Sam Roush was wide open in the end zone. That's one when Ashton Daniels sees it's tomorrow. And hey, credit Ashton Daniels. I think he's done a phenomenal job. He's been under pressure all night long. He's done a good job of keeping his eyes down the field and remaining a passer under that duress. But he did miss his tight end there. That would have been a big time play for Stanford.
Yeah, he got 8 yards, but that might have been 7 points. 2nd and 2. They'll throw short and dropped right through the hands of the star wideout, Ayomanor. So now it's 3rd down. This is the play you were talking about.
Yeah, and I get it. Listen, you got some guys on the defensive side that are breathing down your neck. They're coming for you. They've been coming after you all night. You've been taking hit after hit. You get outside the pocket, and I understand Sam Roush is in the backside of his vision. Probably saw him late there, but hey, credit Ashton Daniels for picking up some positive yards and making it 3rd and manageable.
I mean, there was nobody within 20 yards of
that would have been big time.
The tight end.
Hard to see, though.
3rd and short. Daniels in the pocket. Over the top, and it's caught! What a catch this time by Ayomanor. Inside the 10, Broughton was all over him.
Listen, big-time football players make big-time plays in big-time moments. 3rd down, 4th quarter, got to have it. Go to your go-to guy, Ayomanor. What a perfect throw and catch against great coverage.
And now the power run all the way down to the 1. That looked like Cedric Irvin in the game. 2nd and goal, Stanford trying to go back ahead.
Boy, that was an impressive go back a play ago. I tell you what, just a perfect throw. Like I said, the coverage couldn't have been any better by the defensive back. But there's no answer for the perfect throw and catch.
At least for now. Ayomanor much more involved on this drive. And they've got the quarterback split out. It's Irvin who's getting ready to take the direct snap. Now they run Daniels in there. He gets the snap and keeps it, and he went nowhere. I mean, I know Stanford's not built yet to be a power team like they were when they were winning so many games, but that is a little cute.
No, I don't like it. Listen, TCU in the middle, they're 325, 320, 310. Stanford, you're still developing your offensive line. You cannot match up in the size and physicality. Get the ball to the perimeter or throw the football to Elic Ayomanor.
And now they do get Justin Lamson in, the guy who threw a touchdown earlier in the game. He's their sort of run quarterback specialist on 3rd and goal from inside the 1. Lamson keeps it. Lamson lunges. Touchdown.
Well, there's something I just learned about Justin Lamson. He is one tough, physical quarterback. He met Johnny Hodges, the star middle linebacker, old school throwback type linebacker for TCU, right there at the goal line. And Justin Lamson won that battle. Wow, that's impressive.
That was kind of one-on-one, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was one-on-one. Nobody else in the way. Johnny Hodges versus Justin Lamson. Tell you what, he's got some power when he gets going downhill.
And how about this? Stanford, big underdog tonight. And with under 7 minutes to go, they've gone back ahead. They're getting ready for the point after. The officials, I assume, are just checking this play upstairs just to confirm the touchdown. They're still waiting on the field. That was a heck of an effort by Justin Lamson.
Seems a little unnecessary. That was a pretty clear-cut touchdown.
I thought it was. And now we get that confirmation. So here comes a big point after to make it a 4-point lead. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Well, this was the catch that set the whole thing up, Brock. The Ayomanor catch was spectacular.
Well, if you're still awake and hanging out with us, there's some fireworks happening here in the fourth quarter. Ashton Daniels to Elic Ayomanor down the sideline. It was the big play the Stanford Cardinal needed to get some momentum. And then Justin Lamson, the powerful core. Somebody, you're saying something, it just wasn't needed.
Over 100 penalty yards against TCU tonight. This kick returnable from the goal line and out to the 25-26 yard line. That's where TCU will have the ball back. Labor Day weekend right here on ESPN and ABC, our college football lineup. What a trio of games tomorrow. #1 Georgia and Clemson Saturday, tomorrow noon Eastern, then Florida and Miami, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, and that's just tomorrow. Then Sunday you get USC and LSU in Las Vegas. Monday night in Tallahassee, Florida State hosts Boston College. A weekend full of great college football on ESPN and ABC.
That is an A+ lineup. I can't wait for it.
And this is kind of, I mean, look, we had some games last night. A quick hitter on first down. TCU gets an immediate first down. Besh has had a nice game for the Horned Frogs. But this Friday night game for TCU and Stanford, kind of a way to get the whole Labor Day weekend started. We've got a good game. 4-point lead for Stanford, fourth quarter. Play fake again across the middle and another completion. This time Richardson into Stanford territory, still going inside the 30. What an effort by J.P. Richardson.
It's great recognition there by quarterback Josh Hoover. It's an RPO. And watch the linebacker step up on the play action fake. Josh Hoover recognizes that, pops a slant right over the linebacker's head as they step up. Great recognition by the young quarterback.
34 yards, 23 of them after the catch. This one is completed. Williams had to lay out, and so he's down after a short gain. But TCU wasting no time going straight down the field.
No, and this is what they're capable of. They showed it to us last year. They showed it earlier on in this football game. It's really just been the miscues. It's been the penalties and the turnovers and drops that have hurt them. But when they're rolling, they can score as fast as they want to.
Over 400 yards of offense now on the night for TCU. Josh Hoover, 2nd and 7. Rolling right and throwing right, and another great catch by Richardson. He gets close and might have gotten there. Maybe just a half yard short.
It's a tremendous grab by J.P. Richardson. Had to use all of his 6-foot frame, showing off his ball skills.
And now on 3rd and short, TCU goes quick tempo, gets the ball handed off to Cook, and they get the first down to the 15. Well, can they finish the drive? They've had a hard time with that tonight.
You know, if I'm TCU, I'm going to slow down the game right now. I'm going to make sure everyone gets on the same page. I'm going to bleed the clock a bit. Really take my time here in the red area and make sure everyone's on the same page.
A first down and 10. They can get a first down again at about the 5. Hoover throws. Williams with the catch. 3 defenders on him. Still hard to bring down inside the 10, close to the 8.
Savion Williams just so impressive. He's got 4 guys hanging on him, and he still finds a way to fall forward and get an extra half a yard. It's been a lot of fun to watch tonight.
That's his 11th catch of the game. 2nd and 3. Hoover with Cam Cook to his right side. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. Hoover, handoff, Cook running right. Cook cuts it to the 5, and he'll get the first down. First and goal, TCU. And I think you're right, Brock, that they are deliberately taking some extra time.
Well, you should. You know, you're in your 4-minute offensive mode. You don't have the lead, but you're knocking on the end zone door. You don't want to leave Stanford with too much time if you find a way to punch this into the end zone.
First and goal. Hoover looking over the top, pass, caught, touchdown. Jack Besh having a huge game. And the Horned Frogs go right back ahead. The touchdown from Hoover to Besh.
Wow, TCU just making it look easy on that drive. Love the command Josh Hoover had at the quarterback position. This was just too easy. One-on-one on the outside, a little corner route from the slot. Jack Besh working on cornerback Zeron Manley. Besh getting the best of Manley there.
He's kind of the breakout guy of the night for TCU. We thought he'd be good, but he's been outstanding. Extra point is up and good. So the Horned Frogs back up by 3 with 3:13 to go. 8 plays, 74 yards.
Very, very impressive answer by the TCU offense after Stanford scored. Like I said, just a one-on-one matchup from the slot. Besh on Manley. Besh running a simple corner route. Outside receiver was just running a little under route. Josh Hoover reads it perfectly, makes a catchable throw out there. Great execution by the Horned Frogs.
Josh Hoover, what had he been? 2 for his last 11 throwing the ball before that drive?
That's correct.
And he went 6 for 6 on that drive.
It's a big time drive for a young quarterback. Just a sophomore, showing why there's been a lot of preseason hype around him. We know the arm strength. We know the leadership, the intangibles he brings to the table. We know his teammates love him. He's won the locker room. The question was, you know, this is his first year being the full-time starter. That was an extremely impressive drive by the young quarterback.
So now it's going to come down to the TCU defense. Can they get one more stop of Ashton Daniels and the Stanford offense? Bryce Farrell back deep to receive this kick. And that one is going to be fair caught. It'll be a touchback for Stanford. Well, coming up next, we got Sports Center, Stan Verrett, Steven Nelson ready to go. Best of College Football Friday. Preview of all the games this weekend starting tomorrow. Plus Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese for the 4th time. That's become just a tremendous rivalry already. U.S. Open highlights, all that and more after the game right here on ESPN on Sports Center.
If you're Stanford, this is the exact opportunity you were hoping for in the 4th quarter of this football game. You have the football, 3:13 to go on the clock, and you have an opportunity to go down and win the football game.
So let's see if Ashton Daniels and the Cardinal offense can come up with a big time drive. First down. Daniels is going to go over the top, and the pass is incomplete. Oh man, I think Jackson Harris had it, and it went through his hands. He was open, and I thought Daniels put the ball on the money.
He did, but give credit to Bud Clark. Safety for TCU right at the last second, just gets a little bit of nudge on Jackson Harris, and that's the difference of it being an incompletion versus a reception.
Yeah, you're right. Good eye. So 2nd and 10, that was a chance for a very big play. Now Daniels again going in that direction, and incomplete. Bachmeier was just blanketed. That's Bud Clark again.
Listen, I don't know how many times you're going to want to try Bud Clark. He's one of the star players of this defense, 2-time team captain. Now you're facing 3rd and long after 2 incompletions.
And Bachmeier heads off the field for this 3rd and 10.
I think it's important for Ashton Daniels to be very smart with the football here. You still have 3 timeouts, so even if you don't get the first down, play the field position game, you still have a chance to get the ball back.
He'll take the snap on 3rd and 10. Here comes the pressure, and he is going to go down and get sacked. The TCU front just overwhelmed Stanford. Devin Deal, Marcel Brooks again.
The sack masters. Tell you what, those guys have played a great game tonight. Marcel Brooks, pass rush specialist. Devin Deal coming over from Tulane. All-conference player a season ago in the American Athletic.
And Stanford's going to go for it, by the way. They're not going to punt the ball away.
Just no pocket for Ashton Daniels to step up into.
They're going to go for it here. So on 4th down and long, 4th and 16, Daniels steps up and throws, and it's tipped up incomplete. Ayomanor got a hand on it, but the TCU defense comes up with the stop. Now 2:14 to go. Remember, you have the 2-minute timeout now in college football, plus all 3 timeouts. And I guess the theory for Troy Taylor is if you can hold them to a field goal, you get the ball back anyway.
Yeah, and a little bit of that is, you know, I don't know how much you trust your defense right now. TCU just marched right down the field, scored a touchdown, so maybe you're thinking, hey, we have the ball in our hand right now. Let's try to go win the football game while we possess the football. That's the only thing I can think of, because there's not many plays in the playbook for 4th and 16.
And Stanford was taking deep shots on that drive. They had an opportunity to make especially one big play.
They did, and I don't mind those calls. The defense TCU was playing presented the opportunity to push the ball down the field, but that 4th and extra long is going to be very difficult to convert.
So now Stanford has to stop with that 2-minute timeout coming. Cook is going to run middle and get a yard maybe, and Stanford will use a timeout, which that's good clock management, because you can save some clock on the other end of that 2-minute timeout by using one there.
Absolutely.
I would think TCU's instruction to whoever is going to carry the ball on this 2nd down play is, we want this play to go at least 7 seconds.
Easier said than done, but yes, absolutely. TCU, they're in 4-minute offense right now. They have the lead. They want to stay in bounds. They want to bleed the clock as much as they can. You've hit on it multiple times tonight. There is a new rule in college football. When that clock hits 2 minutes, there will be a stoppage of play. We don't call it a 2-minute warning at the college level. That's just the NFL. But the clock stops nevertheless.
I think their logic is, well, what do we need to warn you about? There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just 2 minutes to go in the game.
It just has a good ring to it. Can we go with it a little bit, you know?
It does. It sounds weird to not be able to say 2-minute warning, but it's the 2-minute timeout coming. Stanford has their own 2 timeouts still left on 2nd and 9. They're going to hand it to Cook, and he'll try to bounce it left. He'll get to the corner, and Cook gets the 1st down. That's huge. Now we have that 2-minute timeout, but it's going to be 1st and goal TCU right after this. Well, 2 timeouts for Stanford still. A couple of runners in the backfield. Hoover's going to throw. Well, now that I don't get that at all.
That's a head scratcher, Flem. You're in control of the football game. You need to bleed the clock. I don't know why you would put that football in the air there. To me, that was 100% a run play. You just gave a gift to Stanford.
You did.
Huge gift.
I mean, if you're just so confident that we're putting this in the end zone no matter what, but otherwise, that could save 40 seconds for Stanford if they can find a way to get the ball back. Handoff this time left side. Cook cuts it middle, and he dives into the end zone. Touchdown! What a run! And they do get it in the end zone.
What an unbelievable play by Cam Cook. The vision, the patience. He gets a great late block by his right tackle, Mike Nichols. Washes the final defender out of the picture, which is what propels Cam Cook into the end zone, along with his own personal effort going up and over for the touchdown. It was an incredible effort.
It really was, because that didn't look like there was a whole lot going on that play. And Cam Cook made it happen. What a run.
You know what? Sonny Dykes said to us, listen, we have a rebuilt offensive lineman, 3 new starters, all portal guys, and we want to run the football. We want it to be our identity, and great football teams run to win in the 4th quarter. Very impressive drive by TCU.
And I really think there was a deliberate attempt to run the ball more in this 2nd half.
There certainly was, and Cam Cook showed why. I mean, you see the patience on the replay. There was nothing there early like you touched on, but he stays patient. As soon as a hole opens up, you can see the burst and the dynamic playmaking ability he has to put his ball club up 10 with under 2 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter.
That's just a great run. So now Stanford with 2 timeouts and 1:51 to go. The only hope for Stanford is a quick drive, get points as fast as you possibly can, and somehow find a way to onside kick it and get it back.
That's exactly right, but the odds are not in your favor.
No.
Pass protection has been an issue for you tonight. TCU, those defensive ends, they're going to have their ears pinned back because they know that this is a passing situation.
Tight, tense game all the way through. Stanford led for much of this game, and now here we are, under 2 minutes to go, and TCU's got the 10-point lead. So one last chance for the Stanford offense.
Listen, when you're in these, when everybody in the building knows you're going to throw the football, it's not a great feeling, especially when your offensive line has not been playing great in the pass protection tonight. So I'd love to see Troy Taylor chip the edges, one side with a running back, the other with a tight end as they release out into their pass patterns. Give this offensive line some help. Give Ashton Daniels time to push the football down the field.
TCU's outscored Stanford since halftime 24-7. It was 17-10 at halftime. Stanford led. A 1:51 on the clock. Just a 3-man rush, and the ball knocked away. I think that's going to be incomplete. Yeah. And better for Stanford. If you catch that one and you gain 3 yards and the clock moves, that's worse than just dropping it.
You're exactly right. If there's ever a good incompletion, that's it. You don't want 2 or 3 yards, especially if it's going to burn 20, 30 seconds of clock.
So 2nd and 10. Across the middle, Ayomanor wide open, and he's going to get to midfield into TCU territory. Well, I mean, for Stanford, the only hope is to go as fast as you can. Clock stops to get everything set. And now it'll run again. This throw is caught, and Stanford might need to use a timeout. I guess they won't.
No, I wouldn't use one here. Not on a short completion like that. You can get back to the line of scrimmage very quickly and get the ball snapped.
And that's what they did. Daniels going to throw short again. This is Ford, the freshman running back. First down, Stanford inside the 35. Clock stops again, and Ford is hurting.
Stanford's either going to have to take a timeout or there'll be a 10-second runoff. Offensive player injured the final 2 minutes.
That left leg.
Boy, Micah Ford's been very impressive tonight. First career game in college football, true freshman.
2-time state champ in New Jersey. He was a high school quarterback who we asked Troy Taylor about him. Said, well, he ran the ball about every play in high school. He was a quarterback, but he ran.
Over 4,000 career rushing yards in high school. Gatorade Player of the Year in New Jersey. You can see why he's been super dynamic tonight in the pass game and run game.
So that's a good sign for Stanford. At least he gets up. They're calling the TCU defense back out onto the field. And they will run the clock starting now. Okay. Daniels scrambling. He's going to run and go out of bounds. That will stop the clock. Down to 50 seconds to go.
It was great time management by Stanford. They were on the ball, so as soon as the officials wound the clock, they were ready to snap the football, not wasting any time.
Final minute here at Stanford Stadium. Stanford's down 10, looking for a miracle. Pressure comes this time. Daniels throws, and that one knocked away. Incomplete. Clock stops with 46 seconds left.
So what you do have to consider at some point is, do you take the field goal save the time, try the onside kick, or do you try for this touchdown right here? It looks like they're going to keep the offense out there, try to get a fresh set of downs and go score the touchdown. But kicking a field goal right now, saving that extra time, is definitely an option for Stanford.
Yeah, and if you don't get it here, you really could.
I think you kick the field goal on fourth down without a question.
So 3rd and 4. A play fake. Daniels over the top toward the end zone, incomplete. So now what will Troy Taylor do? He is, I think, going to send the field goal kicker out there. Well, I mean, look, if you're actually trying to win the game, this is probably the right play.
Oh, 100%, because you need 2 scores regardless. So save the time. You're well within your kicker's range. Get points while you can.
It's a big kick for Emmett Kenny. From 45 yards out. His first game as the full-time place kicker. Snap, hold, kick on the way, and that one is good. So he made it. 36 seconds on the clock. Stanford down just 7. And now you at least have a chance. Hopefully in camp you worked on some onside kick plays. You got a chance.
Oh, no question. This play has been repped a number of times between spring ball, fall camp. You're always ready for situational football in moments like this.
Do we have an onside kick specialist? I'm asking a question that maybe can't be answered. It was just the no-name extra jersey. So it's still the kicker, but they needed another 13 on the field. The hands team, presumably that's Ayomanor, and so Emmett put on that 33.
I like it. That was a quick transition.
Get out there and kick a good one. Well, for TCU, they'll put their own hands group up front.
Ball has to travel 10 yards before Stanford can touch it.
They'll pop it in the air. No, it's grabbed by TCU, and that will end the game.
Chase Curtis, the big tight end, sealing the game for the TCU Horned Frogs.
So TCU comes on the road, and now all they have to do is take a knee, and they will have themselves their first win of the year.
Great job by Chase Curtis attacking this football, showing off his hands. I had to go up by his shoulder to get that. Great play by the tight end Curtis.
That was a pretty good onside kick, actually.
It was. It was coming with some steam. There was going to be a good bounce in there.
And I don't know if Troy Taylor's telling the official, I am going to use my timeouts or I'm not going to use my timeouts. He still has 2 of them. They did all that without using a single one. And he will use his timeout. Well, for Stanford, some things to build on. For TCU, a lot to get cleaned up. But I think you can see the glimpses of why TCU thinks this is going to be a much better year.
No question. It was a very gutsy performance by the Horned Frogs on the road, traveling to the West Coast, different time zones, late start. Not everything went their way tonight, but when they needed to make plays, they did it. They did it on defense with that defensive front. Thought Deal played a fantastic game. Cooper played a fantastic game. The linebacking unit, Bud Clark, you know, that's going to be a unit to be reckoned with in the Big 12. And then offensively, you know, I really thought Josh Hoover, Savion Williams played good football tonight. You can see the potential with the offensive line. The tight ends made plays. Cam Cook, Trey Sanders. You know, the glimpses, like you said, they were there tonight, but it just wasn't consistent. But that is somewhat to be expected in week 1.
And I like, you know, some of those newcomers that you rattled off. Some of those guys are going to be big time players.
I think so, and specifically Savion Williams, who's been with TCU now for a while. He's a senior, but he showed tonight that he can take over a game from the wide receiver position. And when you have a guy like that and you have a defensive unit that plays with their hair on fire, ears pinned back, you know, if you clean up the turnovers and penalties, TCU could be very dangerous.
So the Horned Frogs will watch the final seconds tick off the clock, and TCU will celebrate a season opening win. Troy Taylor and Sonny Dykes, they've known each other